Hi guys, Retro Tech Ralph here. Right, I've had these for months. I've been sat on them. I wanted a project round about Christmas. I think it was before Christmas, maybe November. But I wanted to faff with these. And let's tell what these are exactly. Right, one of these is a make your own ZX Spectrum DRAM tester for the 4116 chips, which is great. Make it all together as a PCB board and you put it all together and you test it and done. It should work fine. The other one is an SD card reader. Well, it's a game loader. So basically what you do on this, you put your SD card in. This is also another kit you'd make yourself. This is what I wanted, things to actually construct and build. SD card in one side with your tap files or whatever files for the ZX Spectrum. There's an Arduino on here, there's a power supply for the USB, I think it is, and there's an earphone socket. So what you basically would do is you get a file from wherever you usually get your normal files from. They're usually available over the internet, which were copies from tape files. That's why they're a tap file, because it's just abbreviated down to 3 letters. It will then read that file and play it out of the audio as a standard normal tape, as they used to be. So then you put it into the Spectrum, and then the Spectrum would read it at whatever right volume this should be. There are buttons on here for play, stop, up and down. I'll ever guess is the volume on here. So, but let's have a look inside. There's the guy on eBay who's selling these. He's actually called Codersystems, and I'll try and put a link in the description. And I can't get in because my scalpel's blunt. So let's get in. Come on, Ralph. I don't want to cut into anything. Oh, maybe I should just peeled it. That might be a better idea. Yeah. So let's just open both of these. That one's a lot easier because it's in the right place. Done. So let's have a look what's in this kit to start with. So it looks like this one is the DRAM tester. You've got the chip with the USB for powering things with. You've also got lots of parts, which is nice. Parts bag with what we've got in here. You've got a capacitor, some LEDs, a socket, diodes. Yeah, cool. And on here you've got your main board, and he's obviously taped on 2 parts that you need to solder. So I'd probably guess that it'd be a good idea to leave them where they are, cut away a bit of the insulating tape that he's put on here, and just solder it in place. I'll go through the instructions anyway. There's a chip under there. I can just barely see. There's a chip there anyway, and then the tester there anyway. You put a test to test anything. You put them in there, the microchip, and then you'd leave that over and press a button. I'm guessing that, and then it would test yes or no, whether or not it works or not. But the last ZX Spectrum project I actually did, the 2 ZX Spectrum Greys, one was had a RAM fault anyway, so that would probably be a good idea to check it through this. Whether or not it's actually for that chip is a different matter. But that's what that kit is. The second one, which is your SD card. I know there's better alternatives out there, but I like this because it's nice and different. You've got your same power supply, your chip. I guess these are Arduinos, I don't really know. Got all your pins in there, power in there, a bag of bits. What have you got there? You've got an audio socket, lots of buttons. It is still quite an easy socket to do. You've even got a display on that. That's quite good. An SD card reader. I'm guessing that is pre-soldered. But why would it be pre-soldered if it's taped to the board? Okay, anyway. Should we get on with this? Ah, there's the pins. So those haven't been soldered, so that holds that board in. It should be easy enough to take off. Looks like it's stuck in place. Is it? No. Hold on. I'm stuck with blue tape. I thought that would be... That's quite a flush fitting. Oh, well, tape stuck to me. Get off. Thank you. Micro card adapter, SD card adapter. Cool. So that will go in there anyway. Will it going back in there? Come on. That is actually really tight in there. That's quite nice indeed. But just to go back to an old sort of way around doing this, we'd be actually playing the files coming in as a file, would read it as and then produce it through whatever and then audio it out. That's really interesting. It's almost like having a normal little MP3 player, to be honest. That'll play zip files, not zip files, tap files. Because you could probably put music in here on the card and listen it through your headphones. Very thin. I mean, yeah, granted, most phones nowadays have got MP3 compatibility anyway, so it's not really an issue to do that. But this is the whole thing I wanted, was kits to play, to do, to make. Because there's no point in buying stuff all the time. There's no point in it's done, hooray. The fun part is making them. It's like the Lego Millennium Falcon. If I'd have bought that for £1,000, already done, somebody transported it over, done. The hours it took to make that was ridiculous. But these won't take that long anyway. But it was the fun in building things like this. So let's get started. Let's get the soldering iron warmed up, and let's get these. Actually, let's get some instructions. I don't fully know. Where do you get the instructions from? Let's have a look on his webpage and see if I can figure this one out. And as an idiot, he does send instructions with these. So let me start off with the micro SD card reader. See, that's what the other one's going to look like. There are other ones he actually has. Let me get his page up on here for what he actually has. Let's see, sellers, other items. He has one for the DRAM tester for the 4164 chips, and he actually has one for both the 4116 and the 4164. Which, if I had known about it, I'd have probably bought that one, but it wasn't around at the time I bought these. But that's how it's going to look anyway, so easy enough to figure out. But I'm going to start with the SD card because it seems a lot easier. Looks simple. You put the headphone socket in there, capacitor, buttons, a longer capacitor's there, bob's your hand, done. So it looks like your display will be showing, you go up and down for whatever file you actually want. The only thing I can see a problem with on this, you remember when you used to load in your Spectrum games and it loads the beginning bit and for some reason your tape's just a little bit out and it kind of stops but then would not load any more in. You used to rewind it and it would catch up a little bit on what part it was loading, or it would go back to the loading screen where the picture was. You could get it back going without going very, very back to the beginning and load, comma. And this is I don't think you can do that. So it's good, but you can't. I don't think there would be a problem with this anyway. It's almost fail-safe that something like this would actually play the file properly anyway, and not just faff you around and whatever. And yeah, I can't see any problems with this. I'm wondering what those 3 pins on the back of there are for, but we'll find out. So I'm going to put the instructions that came with the kit. Terribly sorry. So Codersystems on eBay. You do quite good kits, and let's see if we can build one properly, because I want to get some soldering practice in anyway. think that's the main part done. That's the Arduino in place. Legs going first, nice little bit of soldering there. I'm quite happy with that. And the top part, a little bit of solder on each one of those. Nothing's connecting, nothing's shorting. I'm quite happy. Did I actually say in the instructions, no need to add the 6 pin block as it's not in use. You could possibly preempt, yeah, whatever, solder this back in place. Well, it'd be tricky to do. You probably have to raise it up a little bit and then put it on. But if it's not needed, then okay, fine. It might be to do with programming the chip or something. Maybe I should have. No, leave that off. Right, next, place the SD card reader with the PCB with the curved pins should be to the top. Curved pins? From where it was, it should be there. Actually, they're curved in, looks like they've been cut off on there. So they're more pins, but just bent round a little bit, which is good. A little bit of solder in there. Curved pins should be, yeah, there are curved pins, yeah. So let's go through this while the solder iron's on and get you a little bit closer in so you can actually watch a bit better. If I was bits, I'd be these pins here. So a little bit of flux on, just protect the board. Nothing major. I've got lots of different types of fluxes. I don't really know why, but so what I want to do, be that first one, miss one. Third one, fifth one. I'm back to number 2. Just flick up, heat, melt, flick, heat, melt, flick. The reason doing that is if I do 1, 2, 3, the heat might build up behind here and possibly melt something, possibly break the board, don't know. But I'd rather be careful, distribute the weight as much as I can. So that's done, that's quite happy. I forgot you weren't zoomed in. It's a bit messy, but some isopropyl will clean that up, not a problem. Solder should be going through the SD card reader. And PC as on the side, so the SD reader in place. Okay. Be careful. Now carefully solder the pins on top of the main PCB. What? To the top of the SD card reader. What? I think I've read that wrong, haven't I? That's not like me, is it? Pins should be going through. So I take it they've... Oh, I don't know. That looks about right anyway, so I'm happy enough with that. Next part, I think, is now solder the network resistor in place, which is... There'll be a dot on the resistor. Is that the network resistor? Since there's a dot there. Push in place, bit of solder to try and just tack one of these legs in. Solder end is really dirty. Now that's holding in place, which is good. I'll resolve that in a moment. I haven't put any flux on this, but there's only 6 pins, so I should be able to get away with it. Put nice and quick. Not being quick on that last one. So going rather well so far. It's quite nice. Now, was that a network one or was that the network one? There shouldn't really be a problem with that. I don't know what I'm doing. So what's number 3? Below the S. Yeah, network below that. That is right anyway. 4. Solder all 5 push buttons along the bottom of... Yeah, okay, that's fine. Ensure that they do not fall loose. You turn the PCB over. So probably do one at a time, hold it in place, solder, and done. After that, place the audio jack in place over here, which is this one. Make sure your pins are all straight, which that one there looks like it's a little bit bent. So I'll see if that actually fits. Best test fitting most things first anyway. So it goes in there, and it doesn't. So it's bent in transit a little bit anyway. So just get it straight. Let it pull in. Don't do this too many times that you may break it. There, that's actually quite tight in, which is good. You don't have to do too much anyway. Hold your jack in place, holding the blue tack. You don't have to use blue tack, other sticky stuff, whatever is available out there. That's now quite steady, and I'll hold it in place when I solder. So that's fine. Place the audio jack in place. Yeah. Soldering all 5 components, which I have. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, solder the yellow ceramic capacitor, which is down there. Optional extra. Oh, okay. Add a small piece of foam not supplied to the PCB where the OLED screen is. Okay. Use a drop of glue and make sure the foam is not conductive. Right, because this is what I could see before. When you put the OLED screen in, it kind of doesn't go flat to what it's actually soldered in place with. To have it there with a gap would be more straight to what you're doing. If you're going to put this in a case, make a 3D case for this, then fine. So I might just use a bit of double-sided, I think I've got some double-sided foam tape in here, or I've used it all. But I'll just put the iron there, which looks about the right thickness anyway for that. So while you're gone, solder the OLED in place, yada yada. Holding it with blue tack or tape. Yeah, whatever. Now finish the main PCB. Okay, so that's easy enough to do. I've just got that capacitors and the screen and the buttons. But I've also got feet as well. So give me a few minutes. I'm going to just quickly get on with this and get this soldering done. Now soldering's done on the first kit, the microSD loader. Okay, so everything's in place. I put a piece of foam padding behind the screen, which then, if anything, then we can, I don't know, it just makes it more flat and flush onto everything. So all I need to do now is everything that's sticking out at the bottom is just cut the ends off. I don't think I need to cut those, but yeah, there's no point them. The legs on here, yeah, I'm going to do these. I just need to make sure my eyes aren't in the way when they fly off. Yeah. Get off. Right, the devices state on this, when you've got this done and sorted and you put your SD card in, your decent faster cards might not always work with this. I think it's probably down to it's just too quick that it's transferring the information across to it. Which is understandable with these older files that need to be at a certain speed anyway, which is, you know, I can understand that. But what I want to do on here, after I've finished clipping all of these, it's like cutting a cat's claws, if you'll ever. I'm actually hitting the same spot over there, which is quite weird. Again. I have to watch out sometimes when I'm actually doing this. I don't. 1, get myself in the eye, and 2, don't get something like this where it might do damage. Better? Oh, that's better. Clean off isopropanol. I need some isopropanol. Dun. Bit of toothbrush. Got the toothbrush today. It's a pink one. They're always pink toothbrushes for some reason. I think the cheapest pack that I got ages ago was just a pack of 3 pink ones. So that cleans off everything on there. Quick blow with the airdryer. Which did absolutely nothing for it. Except now I've got streaks everywhere. So what it does ask you to do is put the pad on when everything's nice and clean. Put the feet on. Actually, before I do that, I want to test this, and by luck and magic, I have a USB cable here, which is the right type. Hopefully this should power up and not go bang. If it does, then I've got a problem. I don't know if this is going to light up or not. Ah, there we go. Actually, my computer's actually saying setting up device because this is rigged up to the computer. Power, showing power. RxTX will work when there's an SD card in here. I mean, yeah, I've got a LED on there already. Cool. So that's being powered. So all you have to do, here as well, that's working spot on. No SD card, because there's no SD card. So all I need to do is get an SD card with a tab file or whatever, rig it up, plug in a cable, doesn't matter if it's stereo or mono, into here and rig that to the Spectrum. But I think they do say that it will work on the +2s, but definitely will work on the ZX Spectrums, probably the 128s if you've got one, which I have, luckily. Yeah, that's quite an interesting little select file. It is actually showing. No file selected. That is really good. Honestly, that's a good kit to do. I mean, yes, there are your DivMMC cards which run faster, but for a traditional, yeah, I haven't got a tape deck, but I've got a file and I want to be as traditional as possible. Yeah, that's a really good little project to do. So I like that. I like that a lot. I like it, very interesting. So that's that one done. Second one. Let's get everything set up, ready for the second kit. Alright, all parts are out of the bag. Same Arduino again, same 6 pin, which will go over here with the other one. Don't need it. Power supply. Contacts. Barrel connector for the power. 2 capacitors, 2 diodes. These are different values as well, so watch out. Red and blue LED. Button to test. 3 10 ultrafarad 25 volts. 1 22 ultrafarad 25 volts. I assume both these diodes are exactly the same. 4 feet. I'll leave them out of the way for a bit. This is for afterwards. And what I'm not looking forward to is these two tiny little resistors for the board that go on the back. Okay, we've already got as chip tester there, and the microchip is underneath there anyway. Just give you the full instructions what to do first. Solder Arduino in place, so that's putting these two down there, sticking the Arduino on top like that, and solder in place. Solder a small yellow capacitor. That doesn't help. Should have told me which one it was, which that one's going to be the small one anyway. So if I actually arrange these to when I'm going to use them, that'd be the small. Solder the L9LO5 regulator, 5 volt regulator, because there's another one, there's a L78L12, and with my eyes, that's a 79LO5. Okay, and this one is L7RL? No. L7. Honestly, I cannot tell. I really cannot tell. I mean, let's have a look in here anyway. See if the camera can pick this up. Come on. 7RL12. It isn't a 7RL12. I've got a 78L12 according to the instructions. Which is fine, that's okay, that means they're first, they're not. Okay, so separate everything into bits that I don't really need just yet, or whatever, and let's get on with soldering the second one. Okay, should be good. Thanks, Stephen Vickers, for, yeah. I actually enjoy myself, to be honest, so thank you. Right, off we go. Construction is now complete, so I can get rid of the pen for ticking things off, and other bits and bats can go away. Right, the only biggest problem I had on here was those two little tiny resistors on the back. They're absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I've never soldered things that small before, but I don't think I've done too bad. So, quick clean over on this. A bit of isopropanol. Not much of the isopropanol because I didn't use much of the flux anyway, just on the major parts. So, I think it does look fine. I haven't missed anything now, so I can turn the soldering iron off. Give a bit more a clean later date. Everything's off and nothing's short in between everything. So, what I asked you to do now is turn the power supply over, isopropanol, yada yada. Okay, tick. Plastic feet, doing that a bit. Plug in a 9 volt power supply, which I do happen to have here. Don't use the Spectrum one because they are center negative. Because, yes. As they are centered, yes, because now everything's centered positive. So, if I go in there, that should work, should it not? Use a multimeter, check the voltages for -5, +5, +12. I'll see what happens. Ah. So what I don't understand is why we need the Arduino. Ooh. So nothing in there has failed anyway. So what I want to do, as all voltages are correct, very careful not to put down your DRAM chip onto the tester socket upside down. What? That is the right way around. This can break your new tester board. Okay. Pin 1 should be at the top left of the ZIF socket. ZIF socket. Cool. Right, I do actually have a chip to test. Now, do we do curve at the top, curve at the bottom? Here. Place the LED will flash up to about 7 to 20 seconds. That actually just fits that in quite nicely. So we'll obviously lock it in place and then test. Okay, that says it's failed. Test it again. Don't wait. Don't give it too long. That has failed. Let me try the other way around just to see if it's just my stupidity. Okay, I mean, I know that one failed because it wasn't working in the Spectrum that I just did. So let's try. Would it matter if it's upside down or not? I don't know. Oh, that's not helping. And showing a perfectly good chip is failing. I think maybe put the curve to the bottom. Well, that's just failing everything now. Okay. Shouldn't fail everything because these three I've got here should all work. Unless I've done something wrong. Put it in a socket and press test button until it will flash for up to 17 to 20 seconds. The green blue light means the DRAM has passed basic tests and can be tried on a real computer. Remember, this is only a guide and the chip may not be any good in full speed retro computer setup. Yeah, red, yellow means the DRAM's questionable and should be risk. Right, okay. Do a press and hold. I don't get why there's a button on the Arduino. That's a bit weird. Doesn't do that press and hold. See, pressing that button does exactly the same as doing that. It's quite weird. So everything's showing that these chips that I know work, because I bought them brand new, working fine, don't actually work, or I've done something wrong. Flicked over there then for the TX. Not doing TX RX. I mean, there is a good possibility these aren't the chips for this circuit. It's just failing all the time. Okay. Unless it's the pass one. No, it's not the pass. Right. Okay. We bin the chip. So I don't think it's actually reading the that. I wonder if I've done something wrong, missed something out. Have a look in the magnifying glass, see if I can find anything, which you can't really see, but I'll have a go. I might have missed the soldering on one of them. If I'm that unlucky. Everything is looking shape in place. Everything's definitely soldered, so I'm guessing all those chips are broken. Actually, I don't think the first pin on this is soldered in place right. But yeah, it's a good little project. I'll probably never ever use it. I might just resolder these a little bit, put a bit more solder in them. There's nothing seemed to have pushed itself down. So it's a project. I quite like that. Nice and quick. That's the right around for that. That's right around for there. Yeah, I can't see what I've done wrong. But I'll go through everything on my solders and see what, if anything, I've missed or not missed. But yeah, that's a pretty good project. Both of them pretty good projects. One of them, that would be really good just to use that as an MP, it's a standard MP3 player. I think I could quite enjoy that. I mean, you need a 5-volt power supply, which is not too easy, but then that's a USB, so you can use a power bank or maybe 3 batteries together strapped to the bottom of this. But that's not bad at all. I mean, are these 4116s? Let's have a look. 4164. Ow! Damn it. So that's why they're failing, is because I haven't got a 4116 reader. Okay, so they're for different chips. But still, there is the 4164 on. That's why it fails, because I'm a buffoon. I didn't buy what I thought I bought. Yes, but it was just, at the time I bought these were a there was the only thing that they had, and I thought I just wanted a good project. I actually want to do the project where you do the Harlequin board for a Spectrum, to put one into a different case. So I've got no reason at the moment to think that I've actually cocked up on this one, so that's fine. I'm happy with it working as it is, just me being a buffoon, not getting it right. Let's put that lid on before I chuck that everywhere. But still, done, sorted. It's on eBay. It's Stephen Vickers. Go have a look for his username of codersystems, all one word. Basically look for ZX Spectrum 48K SD, micro SD card loader, blue edition. I got the red edition because I don't know really. It looks a bit odd with the blue bits on there, a little better with the blue ones. But yeah, that's been a really good project. I really like that sort of level of electrics I like to do. I mean, yes, push myself a little bit to get those on the back of there anyway, which it's been good doing it, because it's got my first practice onto circuit mounted stuff, and I'm not happy with how they are, but I am really happy on the way that it went in. So once I get some 4116 chips, and I'll be able to test this properly. So anyway, with that in mind, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and I'll see you in another video. before my battery runs out on the camera because it's flashing at me. Bye for now.